Let's see if I can get this in with some sort of sequential order that makes sense, in which morphogenetic field structure works the way it was intended, which would be the founders. Okay? That's the eternal life creation spheres, the first universal and galactic template. So I'll share with you, if you're not already aware of this, but I'm going to just say a few words that hopefully connect to a much larger library that you've experienced, and then you connect it as common ground or common knowledge of what you've learned through experience and the speed at which we connect to each other, which is called synchronization, which is synchronous, which means you're getting the codes because you're firing the codes, which means you're getting the transmissions. That means you're able to rub the codes. That means that your antenna, which is a radio antenna, is able to translate the math and the geometry of consciousness that is communicating with us. And we're able to translate the math, the geometry, and the codes of crystalline consciousness that is communicating with us. Rainbow codes, rainbow roundtables. Okay? So here's a beautiful way in which you can sort of see if you can translate this, right? It has symmetry. And you know what symmetry is, which is a spiritual form and flow of energy that is experiencing itself, creating what it experiences as it's creating it, that it experiences as it goes. That's called go with the flow. Go with the natural flow. That's zero, which is zero charge. That means that you have canceled out polarity consciousness. Now you're not playing ping pong. Now you're experiencing being one with all creation. That's Neo. And what's beautiful about that, and if you remember Neo and Trinity, right? Neo is the one. The first musician. And the reason that that's important is because Neo runs stealth code. And how do you see stealth code at work? It was demonstrated in the Matrix. Remember all the bullets that were coming at him? It's like slow-mo. You're running at slow-mo. Now you understand how that works with deadlight energy, which is a deadlight AI magnet. Cannot take a picture of Neo and capture Neo, right? In order to stop the frame so the bullet hits Neo. See, because the flash sequences that represent Neo speed is in and out so fast, right? That's called being bulletproof. So when you experience being bulletproof at 4 years of age because you're with the one, that means you're flashing in and out at such a high rate of speed, they can't capture you to shoot you. See how that works? And the folks, and what's his name? I can't remember the episode, but the guy who was the martial arts master, what's his name? Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee did a demonstration of how that actually works. How what you saw in the Matrix with Neo, with Mr. Smith, which is artificial intelligence, which is a deadlight magnet, which means when you're running on deadlight and you're experiencing the eternal spirit of fire and you're running at hyperspeed, man, you can't catch us. Can't take a picture. Can't take a picture of the key codes. So this morning, what's beautiful about this is how the morphogenetic field structure works by the relationship that we have with others. So this is one of the reasons why it's beautiful as a guardian angel, right, that I have a relationship with Kanjoy in Thailand. And so I communicate stuff with her, right, based on who she is. So she puts up the pictures of the feline, Lyra. So I communicate with her. She communicates back with me, and I can see she's following right along. She's picking it up. The morphogenetic field structure, she's learning very, very fast. Remember who she is. She's picking up the codes, translating the codes, because you realize how that works in vapor lock, right? Locking consciousness in, and that's no different than something that is a parasite is attached to you, right? And it's attached to your energy because it doesn't want to separate itself from what you are, because you're a source of energy with your soul. So you're locked in. That means you're locked in. That's a vapor lock. That's the ether lock. So this morning, after I had shared some stuff with her about black goo, speed, and everything that I bounce back and forth, her and I do with each other, okay, all of a sudden she put something in my window with a gentleman who's wearing a white hoodie with a purple scarf across the top of his head, purple light. And what he's beginning to measure about the 144 is the sun is crystalline. He said, I'm getting the rainbow codes. I am translating the math and geometry of the consciousness that is being directed, which is crystalline, coming through the sun. The sun is crystalline. Yeah. That's why I work with the sun every day. That's the crystal spiral. That means you know the one you're with. So when she put that up this morning in my window, I thought, that's called synchronizing the atoms. The crystal spiral atom. You're getting the drift. You're getting the codes. And that means that you're clearing all the goo. And now you're able to fire the goo, which means you're getting the clear signal. You're getting the signal, which means you're getting the codes. You're getting the rainbow codes. Remember the Hopi prophecy about rainbow warriors coming all together? What it means to come together as one, to experience being one with all creation, because we're experiencing being loved. Crystal spiral. Yeah, this was all the work that was being done, and most people have no idea just how far back this goes to make this happen. It's just, yeah, I know. That's why I breathe with the sun. When I experienced that with Kunjoy this morning, I went outside out onto the deck, and there was the clouds across the sky, and I said, let's open it up. Open those clouds. Come on, baby. I know you're up there. Sure enough, we burned a path. It's like burning a path. It's like I'm in that sun, right? So we're going to connect with each other, right? And sure enough, it's burned right through. Now I'm breathing with the sun, and what do you think I'm seeing across the sky? Pink, baby. That's how it works, right? That's how it works when you're a self-generator. You're a self-generator. Now you come back and see what it is that you are as a result of the relationship that you have with stars. Living stars. Breaking through the lock, right? Trying to lock us in, right? Feed on us. That's right. Lock us into a war game. Lock us into a binary war game. Playing ping pong, right? Instead of experiencing being one. That's full-blown integration. That's the work I do, polarity integration. Cancel out the polarity to experience being one, experience being a single pole, right? The first one, the first sound musician, the crystal spiral. Crystalline, Cosmina. That's why when I was a little child growing up, I did not forget. That means I had access to the crystalline records. I know the source from which it all began, and I know the source from which I became to become a beloved. It means I never lost my memory of who I am. I am what love is. It goes on forever, gifting electrons, gifting love energy wherever we go. We are what love is. Wherever you find love and living spirit, you'll find us. That's the truth of it. When you know that, that's called self-knowledge. That's called self-knowing. That's why the identity side of this was so important. When you think of waking up, and when you're waking up, it means you're experiencing a capacity to experience more life. That means you're burning off codes that are holding us trapped, which are goo codes. That'd be your black goo. The psychopath, right? The psychopath way, right? That doesn't understand and it can't translate those codes to experience what love is, right? So what do you do with a psychopath, right? I remember somebody told me about healing. Well, believe it or not, ultimately that's what happens. If you understand how implosion takes place, and that means that what was once feeding on something else is now becoming what? An accelerator. Part of the accelerated part of the universe, which is accelerated consciousness, which is accelerated learning. So now they have to accrete themselves back to a larger formation of consciousness because they're experiencing the largest formation of consciousness, which is what love is. Because that's the energy that created the first universe. The first universal and galactic template. That was their target. That was the AI target. Using all of its assets that don't have a soul anymore, okay, which is the Metatronic, right, which is the goo codes, right? So that's called AI integration. So that's deadlight integration. Why would you want to integrate yourself with something that's dead? That's not very intelligent, is it? Does it sound very intelligent to you? Sound? Acoustics? The echo worlds? Yeah, see? So when you know that love is a law, and you have something that's AI integrated, that's a perversion of natural law. So Patty Broussard was right about that when she referred to the Super Soldier program. That's a perversion of nature. Because natural law is what love is. So now that your soul and your spirit are integrated, right, with the one, it means you're experiencing eternal love. That's eternal creation spheres. That's an eternal engine of creation. That means your spirit and your soul are integrated, which means being integrated with something that's dead versus being integrated with something that's eternal. You get the picture. Something is not right with this picture. So when you put it in the context of 985 billion years and how long it took to get where we're at now, you get the picture of why we're experiencing what we're experiencing by virtue of what we learn, right? To know the difference between one and the other. And that's knowing the difference between deadlight integration, which is binary, which is not compatible with trinary, and it's certainly not compatible with the eternal spirit of fire. It goes on forever, gifting electrons. So the only way that they can run their program is using our energy to do it. No consent, because that's a violation. Love is the law. That's why the guy named Tino on, Galactic Talk said, "You're lies." I'm sorry, but love is the absence of fear. To experience being one with all creation, we're gifting love to. When you're experiencing the one tells no lies. Those that live in fear of the truth are the ones that accuse others of being what a lie is. Because of that deadlight AI integration that they experience. That's how you know one from the other. One that's integrated with deadlight and one that is not. That's a captured unit. That unit of consciousness is a captured unit, which is a super soldier. That's why it got perverted. That's why it's a perversion of nature. And that's why Patty Broussard was very intelligent, that she was truthful enough to expose that. So when I expose it on Galactic Talk, what do you think happened? Oh, that's lies. See how that works? There's only one law, a law of one. That's what love is. It goes on forever. That's an accelerator, the highest speed accelerator of learning. And the difference in learning speed between integrating with an AI means that the Blade Runners and the Super Soldiers will become obsolete. They've already become obsolete. And if you understand how time and density, and there is no time, works when you're experiencing the one, you get it. What it means is that when you've chosen of your consciousness to be a part of something that got perverted to the Super Soldier program, you realize they're not experiencing the one. And that's knowing one from the other. So I've stood my ground since I was 4 years of age. And another way that I can put this is that you're not going to shit me, brother. Okay? So I have to be careful when I was a child to bite the bullet and just realize there's what you are and there's what I am. I know what I am because I'm a one. So you realize what a captured unit is. That's called AI capture. That's a captured unit, which means that their consciousness is running that machinery. Otherwise known as your transhumanism or transformers. Transform, right? Your synthetic biology, all the stuff that you learned through everything that's been presented, all your Westworld stuff, synthetic biology, all the stuff on Star Trek, data, androids, soulless clones, right? Cyborg, cyberspace, military, corporate control. It's all there. Right? And when you put it in the context of 985 billion years, and when Asha Diane said this is the final dance, that's right, this is where it ends. That's why the crystalline sun and I work every day, and that's why that rainbow warrior was experiencing the rainbow codes. It's over. Because one thing I've known for many, many, many years, okay, that we're ending wars. All Star Wars. Because love as a law is not negotiable. Okay? So there was a lot that went into with the Guardian Alliance to make sure that this was not a failure. And that's why failsafe was invoked. Which is to say, it's as if we're going back before time began. Which means, whoa, it's like starting over again? As if the universe never existed, the first one, because of what happened to it? Well, you know what it means to do a full reset, right? Of a universal template, which means everything that's gone on within a template, for the amount of years that is represented by all the wars of units of consciousness, that we're experiencing war after 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 war, generation after generation, star system between star system, galaxy between galaxy, right? When there's only one law. So if you honor the law, then you honor the highest superconductor, which means you honor the one. And if you do not honor the one, then you're not honoring yourself to be one. That's living in dishonor, which is living in a diseased state of mind. That's a psychopath. That's a dead state of mind. And a dead state of mind is a result of going to war in their own mirrors. That's what an AI is. So they think that because of the fact that the AI can provide them data, just like you see in Rise of the Machines, AI, Rise of the Machines, that somehow or other the integration to that Metatronic cube and running those mathematical codes is somehow allowing them, because of their strength and their bionic stuff, makes them superior and super intelligent. Because now they're with artificial intelligence, which is alien intelligence. It's alien to the eternal intelligence. The eternal intelligence is what love is. I know. It's like trying to get it through. Knocking on the door, just like they knock on that door, knowing one from the other. We bring flowers. We love you. Remember? Just like, when was it? In the 1960s? Flower children putting flowers in the gun barrels? What are you in fear of? We will show you what love is. And you can see that with the songs that are put up with the Voyager materials. Singing songs and dance. Singing with the whales. Right? Singing with the blue whale.